everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Gym Jar. It is 2025. Happy New Year. I'm so excited to have you guys with us again. I know when the year starts, everybody's new year, new me. So let me give you the Gym Jar's new year, new us. We're super excited this year because we're going to take a different approach. And in order to explain that approach to you, I'm not just going to sit here and chatter. I'm going to invite someone very, very special to me to kind of lead the conversation and direct us into the Gym Jar's new direction for 2025. So if you guys could help me welcome my very best friend, Miss Nadia Weeks.
Oh, this is my applause.
Okay, as y'all can see, she has lots of character, lots of energy, but I thought she would be the perfect person to ask some questions about the Gym Jar. She's known me longer than the Gym Jar has even been in existence, so I think she's the perfect person to kind of guide us and ask the right things so that we know, and you know, because I already know, so you know where we're going with this. So Miss Nadia, please take it away.
Okay. Hey, everybody. It's been a long time coming. I feel like I should have been on here for a long time, but that's just me. So let's start off easy. What is the Gym Jar?
Okay. So the Gym Jar is an inspiration platform. It lives on multiple different social media sites. So Instagram is one of the places where we post a bunch of quotes. YouTube, we kind of put our videos up there. And as you guys know, Instagram has changed a lot over the last, I would say 5 years. Instagram, like the content that people have put on has changed a lot. So our videos live there now as well. And then I don't know if we're going to do the TikTok thing. I think we're all going to find out. Okay. But yeah, it just is an inspiration platform where we put out a lot of motivational and inspirational content that like other people, you know, can either get something from, or even sometimes as a person who's posting, I get something from too.
Yeah, and I remember when you started with the Gym Jar, it was like not something that was overnight. It just kind of evolved from my perception is it evolved from your journey in law school. You were posting all these things, and then I think it started to become really consistent. But that's my own point of view. Yeah. But for you, like, how did it start? What are the beginnings of it?
Okay, so I think you're right about most of that. It started in 2018. I was in law school. I would say definitely experiencing like the burnout, the anxiety, depression, like all the things that law school can bring. And I just wasn't motivated because uniquely to the other years of law school, the first year you are not taking classes you pick. You're taking what, you know, your requirements. Yeah. So I wasn't like excited to, you know, I wasn't going toward my major or anything I wanted to do after. I was just kind of there doing what I was told, and I wasn't really like motivated or excited at all to be in there. So I think I just kind of seeped into a little bit of a depression, and for my personality, that doesn't work. So I decided, you know, what am I going to do to motivate myself every day? Like, I have to get up. I have to do this. So what is it that I'm going to do to make this even that much more bearable? Yeah. And so I just started going on Instagram, scrolling when I was supposed to be studying. And I found like quotes. I found inspirational videos. I think at that point I had memorized like a speech that Denzel Washington had gave at a college, because I was just trying to like get inspiration from wherever I could, because I just wasn't feeling up to it, to be honest. So I made an anonymous Instagram page, and I called it the Gym Jar, and I would just post just quotes and like just all types of inspirational content on there. And at the same time as I was doing that, I would like repost some of it on my personal page, but like nobody knew that the Gym Jar was me. Or I would just like any memes or gifts and stuff like that, I would put them on my personal page, and people would send me DMs and like just say how much that quote either meant to them, how it changed their day. You know, just like feedback, I guess I would say. It was feedback on like how they felt about what I was posting. So it kind of amped me a little bit more to keep like what the Gym Jar was going, even though I didn't really like attach it to who I am. It was just kind of like an anonymous thing at the start.
That makes so much more sense, especially when you think about the mission to the gem jar. This is news to me, so I'm going to have to read it directly from my little card. So the mission of the gem jar is to build a community of individuals who help one another free themselves into purpose through authenticity, truth, and transparent conversation. So I think when you talk about the community aspect and like the feedback that you get, that makes so much sense. But aside from that, like, why else is this the mission for the gem jar?
Yeah.
Especially those 3 words.
Yeah. I picked those words so intentionally. So truth is that one, I think just as a person, I've gone through a lot of, just different relationships in my life. I was in dance school, I have friends there. I was in regular school, I have friends there. I was in Bible class, I was in all these little groups, and I had a bunch of different groups of friends. And I found something to be true about me is that I value people who tell the truth, no matter what the situation is. And then as I started going on my journey after we graduated from college, and I was like, okay, where do I want to go next? What is the job I want? Like, I was at a talent agency. That was one bout of my life. And then I went to law school, and I just kind of felt like even on those journeys, when you ask people, like, how did you get to where you're going? Sometimes the answer to me was like, it felt like rehearsed. And I really wanted to know, like, what is the truth of your story? Like, I know people experience so many different things as they go through. Like, you might just be telling me the academic piece, but like, you might also have experienced grief. You might have lost somebody. You might have had best friends and then no longer have friends because you had to like take whatever you were doing super seriously. So it's like, I always want people to give their true story, and then transparency to me is different than truth, because a lot of people may tell you the truth, but are they actually giving you the full story? That's to me where I feel like the transparency comes in. Is like, are you actually going to tell me what you went through? Because a lot of that is what I used. The gem jar is like what I used in me being fully transparent to like get me through law school. It wasn't a study tool. It had nothing to do with law school, but it was something that got me, Ayana, physically to the room, through the class, and then back to the study room, like actually being motivated to be there. So truth and transparency, and then authenticity is like, just keep it you. Like, you don't have to, especially even what we're doing now, right? Like, you don't have to sit here perfectly. We don't have to give a vibe that's not ours. Like, we talk all the time, and like, our vibe is, sometimes it's like this, sometimes it's like this, sometimes we sleep, sometimes
it's more chaotic.
Okay, a little hectic. Okay, but the point being, it's authentic. And to me, I always took to truth, transparency, and authenticity. I feel like that's what gets to people's hearts. That's what changes people, and ultimately, that's what like moves people into purpose. If you could be those 3 things, you might be, by showing yourself, you might be pushing somebody else in the direction of showing their own true self and realizing their own true purpose. So yeah, and I feel like these conversations are what do that. So,
and do you feel like the gem jar is part of your purpose?
Yeah, like I think the gem jar is a manifestation of the things I do all the time. Like, I started to notice I wanted the gem jar to look a certain way. Put these things here like this, sit the cups here, put the pillow there. Like, I wanted it to aesthetically look a certain way, because also at the same time that the gem jar was starting to come to life, like, I had no longer made it anonymous. I kind of attached it to my name a couple years later, and got my friends to follow and people to know, like, okay, this girl really did start an inspiration platform. But the way that everything is, and the way that I set it up, it started to bother me, because I felt like it wasn't authentic enough or close enough to what was actually existing in my real life. So like, we could go out to dinner. Let me just give an example. We could go out to dinner. I feel like our conversation that we may have is like either so deep or so real or so whatever is going on between us. And sometimes I would just wish, like, man, I wish there was a fly on the wall or a camera to have caught that moment. And I didn't want the gym jar to feel so perfect, if that made any sense. I wanted it to start to feel closer to the actual experiences that I was having in my life. So I do think it's part of my purpose because it's starting to feel closer to what's already happening. And I feel like that's kind of the journey that we're on. That's like kind of why I was trying to explain. I wanted to bring everybody with us on this journey into 2025 because it's changing from me saying, hey, I want to like put some of these things out there that I know like we all talk about and just bring people into the conversation. I want to sit people down on the couch with me and like just have the conversation we would have had anyway.
Right. But walk us through a little bit how you got there, because I feel like the first year you talk about, I made this anonymous page. Yeah. I was struggling through this and I needed something to fulfill this.
Yes.
I started to build community, and then now we're leaping to 2025. So like, what was the first year about? What was the second year about?
So the first year was that it was really law school. There was no focus on it to be anything.
Okay.
It was literally just an inspiration platform. Whoever followed it. I don't know, such and such from Idaho. Like, I have random people just following the site. After the next iteration of it was me attaching it to my name. People knowing that I'm actually doing this. So I think that's kind of where I got more support from my friends and people to say, like, I'm so glad you did this. I think I kind of needed that too. Like, people to say, I'm so glad you did this, because I would always see so much inspiration on your personal page. And people were like, why don't you just kind of make another a separate entity to do its own thing. And then I started trying to do like the YouTube videos, and I like set the space up and I would just talk about different topics, but it was just me. And that felt really unnatural because you know me, I like barely post on Instagram. I try my best to take pictures. Like, it's just this thing that I felt was like super performative in a way that I'm not as a person.
Yeah.
So I did like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 videos. Half of them I never put out because I just felt like they felt so posed and kind of fake. Like the content was real, but the way it was translating I didn't like. And then that led me to be really inconsistent because I was like, I'm not feeling right about this. I don't really want to put this out. It doesn't feel perfect. I'm struggling with like putting out a product that I'm proud of, because also like we come from creative backgrounds. Like, I know how to put a production together. I know how to, and I think I was kind of struggling with that too. And then to jump to now, it's like, can you pull out the things that you actually liked about it? It was what we were talking about, and that's about it. And that's about it. So I was kind of like, all right, well, then stop doing it. I just stopped. I was like, then just stop doing it. And like, when it bites you again, when the bug like bites you again to pick the gym jar back up, do it in a way that feels most authentic. And so I just stopped doing it. And I realized one day, little aha moment, I was at dinner with my friend, and that was another moment where I was like, man, I wish we just had a fly on the wall or a camera in the room. And I was like, stop just sitting down and just talking at people. Talk to people. And let other people see what y'all already were going to talk about. Because that, to me, like, there's healing in those conversations. Like, there's growth, there's purpose that is birthed in those conversations. But when I try to manufacture it and put it together the right way, and then say it to somebody, just me, it don't come off the way that it came off.
By just having that regular conversation.
And also, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have a conversation, and you especially, ma'am, challenge the way I'm thinking about a thing. People miss that if I'm the only one speaking.
Okay. So
they could see you process what I said.
Yeah.
They could see you disagree with me. They could see me get an attitude. It's fine. They could see the humanity in both of us, and the fact that, one, nobody has to leave here right or wrong. It's all just perspective. And the perspective is really what I feel like I always take away from the conversation and become better with. So I just wanted to, like, in 2025, I guess to bring it full circle for you is that I went through all these different iterations of how it felt, and now I just wanted to feel real.
That's so interesting, because I'm gonna be honest, like, you had Wine Now Wednesday, you had other people at some point on the show, and specifically the Wine Now Wednesday, like, that was on Instagram Live. There were no takes, there were no, like, whatever happened. If somebody's camera cut off, it ended.
Yep.
So how did that not play into the authenticity you were trying to build? Because you gave us it and then you just left.
Okay, fair. But I think that was closer to what this feels like. So I remember when I did the Wind Down Wednesday with my friend Jordan. Love you, Jordan. We were talking about how to remain authentic as you climb, because his career was just like doing the most, like killing it. And I was so proud of him, but I was like, how did you've been in a room with the biggest stars, you've been modeling for the biggest brands, like, how do you stay you? Like, and we just got on and we talked about that. And I think, like, you know, in the corner where you could see how many people are watching, I think I saw, like, the highest number I saw at one point was like 50 people or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I went to sleep and I woke up and it had 4,000 views. And I was like, I don't have 4,000 followers. So that was confusing to me. But also I think it spoke to the fact that sitting there and having a regular conversation, people are changed by that. People take to that. People like that. I like that more than instructional how to. Like, it just wasn't resonating. So I think, to your point, yes, like, there were glimpses of what it could be, but I feel like what I'm trying to show now is that it's a process. The whole thing was a process. Like, I didn't have a whole writing team and a group of people telling me, no, let's do it this way, let's do it that way. It really was the manifestation and a product of my life, the way it was being lived. And, like, yes, I tried to take time away from working and stuff to, like, do the gem jar, but the gem jar was happening anyways in the conversations that I was having. The gems were being dropped in the conversations that I was having. I just wasn't letting people in on the right angle of it. And when I did the Wind Down Wednesdays, yes, that got the most, like, attention, but it felt the realest. So I think that's why I wanted to kind of scratch that part of the gem jar that was like, I want to tell y'all about this topic and just bring the topic to the table.
To the table.
Yeah.
Right here.
Right here.
Okay. I love that. So what's going to look different about this year? What's going to be on the table?
Yeah. I think, again, it's a manifestation of what's really going on. I turned 30 this year.
Is this what 30 looks like?
I mean, Babiana's bobbing. I mean,
yeah, movement. Yes. Okay.
Stiff wear. Where? Okay. But it's like, I think the 20s is about, like, finding yourself, right? Gaining and losing friends, moving places, going to school, figuring out what you want to do as a career. Like, there's a lot, like, that's the 10 years, I think. You could disagree, but I think that's the 10 years of your life where you change the most. Like, shifty as far as, like, becoming something, in my opinion.
Okay.
You could tell me your opinion, but not on this episode. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But I know for me, I did, right? Like, I was in Michigan in the beginning of my 20s, finishing up college. Then I came back home. Then I got a job. I worked at that job for 2 years. Then I went back to school. Then I graduated. Then we had a pandemic. Then I graduated. Then I started working as an adult. Like, so many different shifts happened to me in that 10 years. And so 30 feels like more settled. I feel like I took all the data from those 10 years And now I'm a little bit more settled in like who I am as a person, more accepting of who I am as a person. And that's going to translate into the gym jar in a lot of different ways. Mm-hmm. So the first way is going to be, I'm just let y'all in on my conversations with my friends. Those are the people who really, I think, mold and shape the character that you see. Y'all test my character all the time.
I don't, but others probably
biggest
do.
Test, okay? But you know, y'all kind of just help me to like become, right? And so as I'm becoming, I think the gym jar is going to continue to become. The things I'm more open to discuss now, there's some things I would not discuss. Like I had a list of things that were off limits to discuss for the gym jar.
With the people?
Like, period. I just was not going to talk about it. Because I also think there was a part of my life where I was super, and I know you can attest to this, but I was very, very keenly aware of what other people thought of me.
Yeah. Which, in all fairness, that's your 20s.
Yeah.
That's a lot
True.
of your 20s.
True. And I think now, that level of acceptance of like, girl, this is who you are. And you're either going to like her or you're going to learn to like her, mess around and love her. And, so I think that that's going to shine through because of the level of transparency that I'm now willing to have. I think that it may connect to somebody. I hope it connects to somebody. I hope, people go through things. Life is not easy. I hope that the tough topics we talk about, make somebody cry. And then when you're done crying, you get that journal and you write. And you write your way into your purpose or your freedom or whatever you need. Like, I'm
not going to lie, I knew this was going to happen, friend.
Me
and
too.
I said to myself, we need tissues.
I really believe people have the capacity to be the best versions of themselves. If they can see themselves. Mm-hmm. If they can accept themselves. Good and bad. Struggle and success. Many things can be true at the same time. You can be what other people see as successful. Oh, she's in law school. She's so smart. And depressed. Same time.
Mm-hmm.
But I just believe that the gym jar I hope it has, an impact, an effect on the people who hear it. So if you have to cry, as I do, I might do it every episode. Don't care, gotta accept yourself. But like if it has that impact, if it does move you, I hope that it moves you into doing something about whatever it is that you feel. Mm-hmm. And I hope it makes you laugh. We don't sit up here crying every episode, but like if it makes you laugh, I hope it makes you laugh from the pit of your belly. Like I hope it creates the truest, the most authentic, and the most transparent version of whoever encounters it. Mm-hmm. So I think by trying to do that for myself, I really believe that it'll translate to somebody else, whoever needs it, whenever they need it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So,
why y'all didn't bring me no tissues if you knew I was going to do this? That's the problem with you being a host.
Because I said...
I knew it was going to happen too, but
I said to myself, well... She doesn't believe that they're going to happen, so I guess I should also believe that.
She would have brought her own tissue, right?
Yeah.
Because
you know about yourself.
I live here.
Yeah. You know about yourself. We're in your domain. I said, I guess you said she doesn't need them.
I told you I was growing up. I was trying not to. But you see how I still spoke. I didn't have to have a whole situation, walk off, come back.
A watery eye. To blame it on watery eye syndrome.
Yeah, I have a watery eye syndrome.
That's not a thing. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
It's just my syndrome. Mm-hmm. It's back. We good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay. We need some excitement.
Yeah.
So what are you like the most excited about besides like me being here?
Bruh.
Okay, and this is what. Okay, I'm most excited about coming out of some of my the things that I know I struggle with, the consistency.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like being excited about sitting down with y'all and talking with y'all, the guests that'll be coming on this season. I think that's gonna push me into being consistent. And I feel like sometimes, when you have something you're working through, like, man, I need to drink more water. Man, do me a favor, don't look at the camera. Man, okay, we talk about it later. The point being, I need to drink water, or I need to be consistent, or I need to whatever. Like, we don't actually know how to fix that other than just doing the thing. But I feel like maybe if I get myself excited, it'll help the consistency, So I'm excited about being more consistent at this age, being at this big age, right? Being more consistent. I'm excited about talking to my friends about the things that I think y'all are excellent at. We could talk about the things you're struggling, but even if you're struggling, I still think it's excellent because of the way you're going about it. Or you just tried. Or you tried, and
yes.
But it was an excellent try. Anyways, point being, I'm excited to talk to you guys. I'm excited to work on my consistency. I'm excited to see the Gem Jar grow and change. I'm excited to hear what people think about it, the feedback, engage with the community, spread love. Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm excited for you. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to see the growth of the Gem Jar. And most importantly, I'm excited for everybody to see who you are, at your core being. I think that this platform is so much of you. And if you can get more of you out there, this is it. This is it.
I'm excited. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. And thank you for being here.
Always.
I'm an interviewer generally. I don't like people to interview me, but I felt very happy because I feel like you're one of my safe spaces in this world. And I feel like the Gem Jar is another space that I want to keep safe. Mm-hmm. And I'm just grateful that you agreed to kind of probe and poke and make me cry. Because really, you made me cry. Yep. And I just want to, express my gratitude for you being here. And I look forward to the things that we will do together.
I'm also so excited.
Okay. Y'all gonna learn more about this dynamic in another segment that we'll bring to you in 2025. But if you're done, I'll close out. Okay, so as always, we hope here at the Gem Jar that you got something that you need from this conversation. A little bit of insight into who I am, a little bit more insight into the Gem Jar, and I really hope that in 2025, you stay locked in with us. Make sure you're around to get all the gem drops as they drop, because let me tell you, it's some fire, it's some heat. We're going to be cooking with some hot grease this year, okay? So thank y'all again.
That was my cooking.
Thank y'all again, girl, for everything, and I'm excited. Happy New Year.